The episode opens up with Hera talking to the council with Mon Mothma, who we now finally see first in person. What did you think of this opening, at least, of the show? It wasn't the place I expected. We haven't seen this for a while. And we hop over to Coruscant and the council about to try to strip General Syndulla of her title and rank.
Yeah, I was surprised. You know, when you look at the little, like, I don't know about you, as soon as I like go into it, I always look at the little description, see if the name is up. The name is never there for the episode.
Yep, never.
But like looking at the description, it opened up with Hera has to stand trial or whatever. And I was like, what? Like, really? I was like, I keep on thinking that Hera is out of this. Like that she's like, I keep on going like, oh, okay, well, there's no way that they're going to continue to focus on Hera. And every time they come back to her, it's so shocking. Now, this time I actually really loved it. I thought it was actually a really strong place to open up the episode. Like, cause like this is the kind of stuff I really care about. Like, I want to know what the government is like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we see how awful like the military is right now. As far as making decisions and whatnot, and part of that is the government too. But like, I want to see, you know, how they're struggling to make decisions and everything. And I like this, you know, we don't get like the huge grand scale of the entire Senate. We just get like, hey, you know, like this is like a military court. We got some JAG stuff going on, you know, like it was cool to see it. And of course, I mean, there he is, Admiral Akbar. Like he's there,
and we got
awesome.
Nia Num just before that as well. On the
is
other
that
side,
him?
I'm hoping it is. Let's see if it already went away. That has to be Akbar. You can see the rank.
Yeah, he's got
there.
like the I think it definitely is him, and it makes sense. Like as far as all like the military officials, correct, it would make sense for Admiral to now be in charge, you know?
Yep.
So I love that. I don't know. It's just like, given how things were in Force Awakens, cause he's there in the run on Starkiller Base. I just kind of figured he was still, you know, he's like one of those like older police officers who just like never takes like the advancement, just wants to still do the same thing.
He's
That's kind of what I figured he would be. He's
always on the beat. Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool to see these characters. And of course, I mean, whose heartstring wasn't pulled when C-3PO walks in the door here in a minute? I like the music attached to everything. I thought this was like a killer beginning for the episode. Shocking to see it. I thought we were done with Hera, but I thought it was really strong.
I thought so too. I think there was a few minor tweaks that I would have made. I am fine with the tension in the New Republic. I do like that they put it in the proper timeline. They gave us an understanding of Mando 3 when Carson Teva mentions the Siege of Mandalore and everything that's gone on there with Moff Gideon. I do still have the frustration from the previous episodes of, come on, you had hyperdrive stolen. You had multiple TIE fighters, X-Wings, see the Eye of Sion fly off into space. So this isn't just a Hera saying, hey, there's a ship that had 7 hyperdrives that flew. Like, something happened enough that probably warranted investigation. Obviously, they need to raise the tension. And then, of course, we jump ahead. And all of a sudden, we've got C-3PO. I'm going to ask a question. Did something seem off to you about 3PO? I mean, obviously, it's not exactly the same. For me, it felt like more than usual, there was the like arching of the back, leaning back. It felt, I know that that's what 3PO does, but it felt like right here, like he looks like he's about to fall over to me.
A little bit. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying as close attention to like how he was walking rather than what he was saying.
Correct.
But yeah, I could see that. He looks like he's like looking at the sky right now when he's supposed to be looking forward. That makes sense.
And he might be looking up at Mon Mothma because she's higher. So I'm not going to be nitpicky.
Yeah, but she's not up there, dude.
Yeah. Oh, hi. God, is that you? Here's the thing I want him to do more than anything. I want him to put out his palm, and I wanted to see a hologram of Leia.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a recorded voice message from Leia, because even you could have done the back of, like, you didn't have to do like full face for very long. It could have been quick.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's a hologram.
You could have found a way. Yeah.
You could have done some angles. It would have felt very much like other messages and holograms, like Leia get what she gave to R2-D2 that Luke finds, right? It could have been that, and I think just to get the voice would have been really cool. I understand why they didn't. I'm not upset about it. That was just something looking back on, I'm like, man, that would have been really cool, and it would have really put
in a bombshell.
Put all those folks in their place of like, whoa. Anyway, that was my only nitpick. This whole scene I thought was great. The hating of droids coming off of the
Chopper looked like he wanted to pick a fight, man. Chopper's like ready to go.
I saw one person basically say, "Oh, I can't wait till I see Chopper assassinate what's his name, Zono." Like he's going down the elevator and he just cuts the cord.
Wasn't programmed for it, but he's an assassin droid now.
Yeah, all of that, again, I thought this whole opening sequence, it was quick too. Like it didn't drag. It was just a few minutes, got moving, and it put things in a perspective of, whoa, Leia's really risen the ranks. She's got pull. Her name carries weight.
And she would, right?
She has
she would. Like, you got to think about like saviors of the freaking galaxy. Of course they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know, like we know how that goes. A lot of winning generals in wars of the past became leaders of their countries, right? Like, of course, people who led the rebellion would be able to pull some rank every now and again. And I love that Leia had that ability. And just to hear his voice and the music again, like this music is just so great throughout this entire episode. But
I saw someone complaining about it
of the theme. And here he comes. I've never been really happy to see C-3PO since I was a kid. He's so annoying.
He is annoying.
but I was like, yes, this is great. And it just got me in the right spot. And then all of a sudden, you know, that's about the biggest thing that happens to me. Honestly, like this episode, C-3PO is like the biggest, coolest thing.
Oh, you're well within your right of that. I think there's some things that I enjoyed also, but as a whole, I did not enjoy this episode nearly as much as the others, and particularly the last two. The last two were just so good, even though they had their flaws, so good. But there's so many things in this episode that it felt like it took time that this show doesn't have. If there was 4 episodes to go, I'm completely good with this episode. It feels like a reset. It feels like a setup for the final 3-episode push.
Yeah.
Dean, we have 40 minutes left of Ahsoka. We have 40 minutes.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, we talked about it last week about like what would happen if like this is a snoozer. And to me it was. Like, to me it was just like I think I texted you and was just all I said was filler.
Like, I said the three dots. Just
yeah. And now we got like a lot to happen, and I am fully convinced now that we're not going to get answers to any of the interesting things. I don't think we're going to get a single answer other than maybe what's calling Balin. Like at least like in generalities of what's calling him.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah. We're going to get to that
stuff.
Man,
we're not getting those answers.
I even think we're getting less than what you think.